Yeah.
The fabric of our lives.
Boar's Head has crafted an ode to legendary barbecue. A sweet, smoky, slow-roasted masterpiece to excite the senses. Time-honored flavor, sliced fresh at the deli. Boar's Head Sweet Peas Honey Barbecue Glazed Chicken Breast. Honey drizzled and barbecue sizzled. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
We all have an inner critic, but we have the power to quiet it. The inner critic can crush our confidence.
I hate this game.
But we can do that. Introducing the Joy Project, our commitment to spreading joy. The first step, quieting our inner critics.
Oh, it's good, Mom.
Yeah, and helping others do the same. This Mother's Day, the joy of celebrating moms is all around us. Shop fragrances and amazing gifts for any mom at Ulta Beauty.
Heart Royal Force Tour 2024. I'm shouting through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guest Cheap Trick. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Don't miss 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Heart with Cheap Trick live.
Bookstores. I read that one. I read that one. I read that. I didn't read that one. I didn't read that one. Can you get this? Because I left my wallet way in my back pocket. My pleasure, because I earn unlimited 2% cash back.
Wow, this is fascinating. Did you know whales and barnacles have a parasitic relationship?
Oh, I know about parasitic relationships. Let's go, barnacle.
Unlimited 2% cash back. The Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card.
I'm Ryan White. I'm running for the Intermediate Court of Appeals because judges should be more like referees. Not making the rules, just enforcing them. I'm an attorney, former school board member, and volunteer coach for my kids' sports teams. So I know a thing or two about playing fair. I'm Ryan White, and I'm running for judge because West Virginia is a fair shake at getting justice. I want to make sure that happens.
Next week, haunting tales in honor of Halloween. During Prohibition, a dramatic love triangle ended in tragedy for a beautiful lady dressed in blue. Some say her ghost still haunts the spot where she and her lover met. Many believe the spirits of the Civil War still roam the Drum Barracks Museum. Join me next time. Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
This program is about unsolved mysteries. Whenever possible, the actual family members and police officials have participated in recreating the events. What you're about to see is not a news broadcast.
May 9th, 1986, Arizona State Prison. Patrick Michael Mitchell and 2 cohorts stage a daring escape in broad daylight. Since then, Mitchell is suspected of robbing 5 banks of nearly $1 million. The FBI's 10 most wanted list. 60 years ago in Ohio, an 8-year-old farm boy was disowned by his step-parents and left to fend for himself during the Depression. Today, Victor Scheinman is still looking for his real family and needs your help. From Nevada, an eerie tale of two families and one haunted house. One of the families claims they took this picture of a benevolent ghost. The other family claims that their spirits tormented them. Also, the FBI is asking for your help to track down a master con man who is suspected of brutally murdering his wife and two stepdaughters. Join me. Perhaps you can help solve a mystery.
We're about to turn up the heat on this workout to see if these two antiperspirants can stand up to the test. Gillette Clinical has twice the sweat-fighting ingredients. Degree Ultra Clear doesn't. Now, let's crank up the heat. All right, fellas, showtime. That's it. Yes, come on. Let's go. You got this. Looks like Degree Ultra Clear can't take the heat. There's nothing from Degree that fights sweat better than Gillette Clinical.
West Virginia's own Riley Moore always has our back.
More shredding, bloated budgets, and red tape than state treasurer. And he's fighting to keep our manufacturing jobs right here in West Virginia. Too many politicians give China a free pass to steal our jobs. Not Riley Moore. In Congress, Moore will stand up for us. Because Riley Moore is West Virginia. Defend American Jobs is responsible for the content of this ad. So you can take on all your other to-dos.
Sorry, Dad.
See if you could save at progressivecommercial.com.
On Mother's Day, moms deserve more than just a "love you, Mom." They deserve to know why. A heartfelt note in the perfect card is the best way to tell them. Moms are the best. Tell them why in a card. After The Equalizer, find out why over 60 million people made Tracker TV's #1 new show.
I'm really glad they didn't kill you.
Wow, that's so sweet of you.
A new Tracker, Sunday after The Equalizer on CBS.
December 14th, 1987, 8:30 a.m.
Nobody move! Just put your hands up and no one will get hurt.
Two men wearing Ronald Reagan masks held up a bank in Gainesville, Florida. The bank had not yet opened for business. Employees were marking in the weekend deposits. In less than 5 minutes, the two robbers made off with nearly $500,000. Working with similar MOs, the FBI targeted Richard Joseph Landry, alias Michael Garrison, alias Roger Lanthorne. They all turned out to be the same man, Patrick Michael Mitchell, one of the most skilled bank robbers in the country. During the last 15 years, his heists have netted close to $3 million. An escape artist, master of disguise. He changes identities like most men change shirts. Each time he robs a bank, he wears a different comic mask. Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, even Bozo the Clown. He's a master. Today, after 14 bank robberies in the United States and Canada, and 2 prison escapes, Mitchell is the newest addition to the FBI's 10 most wanted list.
I guess you could best describe him as being confident. He's even vain to a certain extent, in that we believe him to have taken the prescription drug of retin A, which supposedly keeps your youthful appearance. He's been described as having an athletic build. He likes the ladies. He fancies himself as a gourmet cook. Matter of fact, we've even recovered some cookbooks from the trunk of one of his cars. So far, we've developed at least 25 different aliases he's used in the past 11 years.
In 1983, Patrick Mitchell was given a 20-year sentence at Arizona State Prison for bank robbery. On May 9, 1986, he and two other prisoners assigned to janitorial duties staged a bold escape. It had been meticulously planned and precisely timed by Mitchell himself. A girlfriend of one of the prisoners was waiting for them. She had been duped into believing that the men were on weekend furlough. They escaped her off without a hitch. One of the men would eventually be arrested in Atlanta, Georgia. Patrick Michael Mitchell, the third escapee, Johnny Salazar Stewart, headed for Gainesville, Florida.
They come into a town a month or two in advance. They come in on several occasions, stay at local hotels and motels. We believe either by staking out department stores or armored car services, they then determine when and where they will make their hit.
The way I see it, armored car gets there between 8:15 and 8:20. We'll watch them go.
In the fall of 1987, Patrick Mitchell and Johnny Stewart began planning a robbery in Gainesville. Mitchell rented a self-storage unit with a good view of both the bank they intended to rob and the armored car company that served the bank. Mitchell pretended to load and unload boxes from the storage unit while he observed the routine operating movements of the armored car company. Patrick Mitchell never went inside the bank himself. Instead, he sent Johnny Stewart to scout the interior.
Actually, it's a pretty good idea. This individual, after they open an account, has a legitimate reason for being in the bank. So there will be no questions for an individual who has an account there walking around, looking around, and conversing with the different customers and employees. He can also be there when deliveries are made by the armored car services, possibly, where he can see actually what they're doing and how they're doing it after the deliveries are made.
7:30 a.m., the day of the robbery. Mitchell and Stewart meet at the self-storage facility. 7:50 a.m., the bank employees begin filing in to prepare for business hours. The bank will open in 1 hour and 10 minutes. 8 a.m., the armored car leaves to pick up deposits from several nearby stores. A Gainesville police officer receives a phone. His target, a junior high school in northeast Gainesville, the same police district as the bank. 8:23. The armored car guards arrive at the bank, swelling his total deposits on hand at $300,000. Simultaneously, patrol cars are dispatched to the site of the bomb at 32 blocks. Police now believe that Patrick Mitchell phoned in the whole as a diversionary tactic. 8:25. Mitchell and Stewart make their move.
Don't anybody move! Put your hands up and no one get hurt! Where are the money bags that the armored truck just dropped off?
I was thinking he's either going to shoot somebody or he's going to take someone hostage. I was very frightened.
I remember laying on the floor in the back. I kept thinking, I'll never see my husband or my children again. I started to cry. I remember thinking that he was going to shoot me in the back.
Keep your hands up! No one will get hurt. This is a bomb. Nobody move, and it won't go off.
As the two men flee, Mitchell drops a bag containing $28,000. Nevertheless, their take for the day is nearly $500,000. The bomb is a phony, and it buys valuable escape time. 8:40 a.m. A woman who works at the storage facility sees Mitchell drive away, a rack full of clothes hung across the back seat. It is the last sighting of Patrick Michael Mitchell in Gainesville. 2 months after the Gainesville robbery, Johnny Salazar Stewart was apprehended. Despite his innocent plea, he was tried and convicted for his role in the robbery and is today serving a 40-year sentence. A year after the robbery, Patrick Mitchell's Cadillac was found abandoned in a storage facility in Tallahassee, 150 miles from Gainesville. The car was clean of evidence, but Mitchell did leave 9 cookbooks in the back seat. During the last 2 years, Mitchell has been cited in Texas, Georgia, and Alabama. However, he is Canadian, and authorities believe he could have returned to Canada. His last known alias was Johnny Grant.
I think it's imperative that we find Patrick Michael Mitchell because I don't believe that he'll be stopping with the Gainesville robbery. Based on his previous activities in the past 11 years and his hit frequency, I believe that it's not if he's going to hit, but when it's going to hit.
What?
Next, poignant saga of a hero who called from his family early depression. Perhaps you can help reunite them.
We all have an inner critic, but we have the power to quiet it. The inner critic can crush our confidence, but we can move that. Introducing the Joy Project, our commitment to spreading joy. The first step, quieting our inner critics. Let's go, Mom. Yeah, and helping others do the same. This Mother's Day, the joy of celebrating moms is all around us. Shop fragrances and amazing gifts for any mom at Ulta Beauty. When you have a mess like me, progress is
Reducing relapses and slowing disability progression.
we take Ocrevus, and then future treatment is
Oh my God.
A prescription for adults with relapsing or primary progressive forms of multiple sclerosis. Ocrevus is proven effective in reducing relapses in RMS and slowing disability progression and reducing brain lesions in RMS and PPMS.
Don't take Ocrevus if you have Hep B, and tell your doctor about vaccinations or if you've had colitis or Hep B, as Hep B could come back. A common side effect of Ocrevus is infusion reactions. Some may be serious. An increased risk of colitis or cancer may exist with Ocrevus, and it can increase the risk of infections. PML is rare but may happen with Ocrevus. Infections and PML can be life-threatening and lead to disability or death. We choose Ocrevus.
That's more progress, less progression.
Ask your doctor about starting with 2 times a year Ocrevus.
The surgeon approved me for skin removal surgery.
He is 8'1", the world's tallest man.
I didn't know that I was pregnant.
You're pregnant.
What?
If we were to let her go again, we're going to leave herself to death. No, I seriously can't keep this much longer.
Charlotte has a
Dude,
genetic condition
you know what just happened?
dwarfism.
I just got a diamond pickaxe in his chest. And then a skeleton shot me. And guess what? It was a skygrid. So I fell into the void. So now I'm not getting that diamond pickaxe back. Dude, I'm about to go fight this guy, bro. Where's he at?
1929.
at right now, bro? That was a diamond pickaxe.
I had the chickens to feed.
It just fell into the void, bro, because the stupid skeleton shot me.
Of course, I was busy. I didn't mind that so much, because I liked the big fat.
I got no items.
For as far back as he can remember, Frank's hardships went beyond his thankless chores.
Have you fed the chickens yet? What have you been doing? You're such a lazy boy. This whole barn has to be clean. This new hay
I was beaten. I went so hungry the smell of food made me sick.
No supper for you.
Is that the same chest?
I wasn't allowed in the house. Sleep at the barn most of the time. I go with the dog.
I'm stacked.
I was bitter and angry.
By age 9, Frank's life had completely disintegrated. His parents informed him that he wasn't even their son and ordered him off the farm and out of their lives. Frank was told that his real parents didn't want him either. They had turned him over to the state welfare department just days after he was born. Frank was left to fend for himself. He had no family and no idea who he really was. The search for a missing family, one's true identity, can be a difficult ordeal. Many times, years of research end with disappointment in the dust-covered files of some county record department. For those who do succeed, the solution can sometimes be more painful than the quest. When a child discovers he was abandoned by parents who simply didn't care. This was a fear that haunted 9-year-old Frank, whose search for the truth would last more than half a century. After being put out of his home, Frank was shuffled from state institutions to foster families and back again.
I was a ward of the state of Ohio. I ate at the soup kitchens. I stole food off in front of stores just to eat. Now, I was not a thief. I didn't know anything about my parents. I was told all types of stories, like the family deserted me. I just was lost.
Frank? Frank?
Oh my, stop
As
lagging.
a teenager, Frank's troubles
On!
Did you hear my question? Did you read your homework last
the belief
night?
that his birth parents had willfully abandoned him left Frank dispirited and aimless.
Frank, this is the third time in 2 weeks. You're going to stay after school and write the entire chapter on pronouns until you finish.
But at 16, his life took an unexpected turn. A concerned social worker confirmed that Frank was not his real name. He had been born Victor Scheinman. The counselor also made a promise. If Frank applied himself and stayed in school, his real parents would be in the audience when he received his diploma.
They told me my name was Victor Scheinman. I had a family, that he would see that my parents, and that would be there on my graduation. And I buckled down and went to work.
Brad Carney.
The day Frank had worked so hard for finally came. He was going to meet his real family. It was the first time he used his real name.
Yo, I'm grinding up in this.
Victor Scheinman.
I thought if my parents were in the audience, they would hear the name and they would respond.
Mr. Goldblatt.
Nobody showed up.
Andy Robinson.
And what's turned out to be one of the sorriest days of my life.
Tina Marie Miller.
I wrote to the Bureau of Charities, Welfare Department, State of Ohio. And the answer they got, that I received, that nothing could be found, they knew very little, and that my family had just disappeared without a trace. So I gave up.
At a complete dead end, Victor had no choice but to move ahead with his life. In the 1950s, he married Eleanor Kell and started a family of his own. For 34 years, Victor all but abandoned the hope of finding his family. But in 1984, Victor learned of an organization in Reynoldsburg, Ohio called Reunite, a support group for people searching for lost loved ones.
Can you jump?
John told me about this group, and I thought, well, what have I got to lose? A little bit of time? I can spare that. So I went, and I was very amazed. My name is Victor Sharman. I was born September the 5th, 1921, in Alliance, Ohio.
Victor told the group the story of his childhood. That evening, he met amateur genealogist Rose Murphy.
Spent his entire life, 60-plus years, without any knowledge.
Bro, I'm making progress.
I couldn't believe that that could be true. Just add to what constrains to everything I believe in, because I think everyone has a right to believe.
Rose Murphy was determined to find Victor's family and solve the puzzle which had eluded Victor his entire life. She began sifting through a labyrinth of state adoption records, county welfare files, and old newspapers. Incredibly, less than a week later, she discovered the obituary of a Hungarian immigrant named Lena Schumann. Lena had died in 1921, just hours after giving birth to her 11th child. The baby's name, Victor.
And I contacted a Hungarian language professor. He said that he would venture to guess, and would probably be right, that the family name was actually Simon, a common Hungarian family name, but pronounced heard by an English ear would be spelled as Simon or Shimon or any other forms of spelling, depending upon the person hearing it. Within 20 minutes, I had enough. 64 years, they hadn't caught it because they're searching for it as the Simon family rather than the Simon family.
Information found in the obituary and birth certificate enabled Rose to reconstruct the events surrounding Victor's birth. Victor's father, Dan Simon, worked for the railroad in Alliance, Ohio, just 100 miles from where Victor had grown up. Just before Victor's birth, a tragic series of events was set into motion to separate him from his family.
Oh my. Dude, I'm not liking this game.
That afternoon, Dan's wife, Nina, went into labor.
Push. That's it. You gotta help me.
I can imagine a tremendous struggle going on physically as well as emotionally.
By rod and by staff.
For the obituary, Mr. Simon was taken 4 months with a pretty period. With this broken news that the father being taken unable to care for the child, wrongfully placed the child for foster care, and in fact indicated in their records that the father agreed to that foster care only with great regret. Well, you have my son, Victor Simon, I want my son back. He could very possibly have been told we don't have anybody by that name, which they didn't have. They had a Victor Emmanuel Scheinman, and not Victor Simon in their records.
Victor Scheinman can take comfort in knowing that he was not truly an unwanted child, but rather a victim of an unlikely conspiracy of events. However, several pieces to the puzzle of his life are still missing.
I hope that I meet some member of my family to know that I belong, know what happened. I want my children to have their sisters and so on. I just want to see somebody and talk to somebody that I belong to.
When we returned, a mother and her 2 daughters dead. A woman's husband was wanted for murder.
West Virginia's own Riley Moore always has our back. Moore slashed bloated budgets and red tape in state treasury. And he's fighting to keep our manufacturing jobs right here in West Virginia. Too many politicians give China a free pass to steal our jobs. Not Riley Moore. In Congress, Moore will stand up for us. Because Riley Moore is West Virginia. Defend American Jobs is responsible for the content of this ad.
Thank you, Agent State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cut. It's neighbor.
That's what I said, neighbor.
Get closer.
Since you're with me now, then bring it round. I know you dig the way I switch my style. Holla, people sing around. Let's people gather round. Let's people jump around. Get your freak on.
Hey, Mackenzie here. You've got questions. I've got answers. Where can you shop a great selection of Kias, including Sportage, Forte, and Telluride, Ken Ganley? And where can you get up to $7,500 off your new Kia? Ken Ganley, West Virginia's #1 Kia dealer. I-79, exit 125 in Bridgeport. I want to see ya in a Ken Ganley Kia.
Think of a future here in Monongalia County where students of Clay Battelle University and Morgantown High would have access to world-class, hands-on STEM and career technical education. Those opportunities would put them far ahead of all other students in our state and region. Well, this isn't just a dream. In fact, you can make it happen. On Election Day, vote for Renaissance Academy.
We all have an inner critic, but we have the power to quiet it. The inner critic can crush our confidence. But we can do that. Introduce quieting our inner critics.
Let's go, Mom.
Yeah, and helping others do the same. This Mother's Day, the joy of celebrating moms is all around us. Shop fragrances and amazing gifts for any mom at Ulta Beauty.
All the parts you need, the prices you want. Guaranteed to fit every time. So you can just go find your guy.
I'm Ryan White. I'm running for the Intermediate Court of Appeals because judges should be more like referees. Not making the rules, just enforcing them. I'm an attorney, former school board member, and volunteer coach for my kids' sports. About playing fair. I'm Ryan White, and I'm running for judge because West Virginians deserve a fair shake at getting justice. I want to make sure that happens.
Isn't it weird you work so hard in acting, this is the biggest thing you've done? That's frustrating. It's frustrating for me.
What's gonna happen? What are you gonna do? Use some of that boxing you've been doing?
You're an alcoholic, you get caught. So why not doing it to black belt as soon as you got it? I'll do anything you want me to do.
Las Vegas, city of big dreams and high roads. This desert town has attracted every kind of crook and con. However, during I find that this entertainment also attracted lots of fire. Frankly, Los Angeles business has more history than temporary man, he rented the house to another family, maintaining a room for himself as well as frequent prison trips to Nevada. Frank Allen had no idea Joe Smith in his house. Joe Norman Smith would call himself a real estate and still had a long history as a crime. He had once been convicted of attempted grand theft. He lived in the Nevada house with his wife Judy, two daughters from the previous marriage, 12-year-old Christy and 20-year-old Wendy. On October 6, 1980, Frank came to
unlocked the bedroom and went in. I started undressing, took off my jacket, shirt, tie, and suddenly stopped in my track and said, "Something is wrong." I said, "I don't know what it is, but something is wrong."
Oh!
Joe, what the hell are you doing? I grabbed him at the wrist on that arm, his right arm, and that's when I shook him and I said, "Joe, what in the hell are you trying to do?" And then it was clear to me that he was trying to murder me. Coming down the steps, I said, I've locked myself in with these double dead bolts and I don't have time to reach for a key. So I ran across the foyer into the living room, dining room, and sure enough, he went the opposite direction. He stood in the door and glared at me, and then walked back and changed the direction of the bar. And I drove my car up to the guard gate and said to the guard, "The man in my house."
Police arrived at the house, expecting to find Joe Smith still inside. They quickly made their way from the living room to a downstairs bedroom.
Joe, come on out, Joe.
They thought they'd cornered Joe Smith hiding under a blanket. Instead, they were confronted with the tragic scene of 12-year-old Christy Smith's. She had been strangled and bludgeoned to death.
It was obvious that she had been dead for quite some time. She had several wounds to the face and to her head. In the next bedroom, they forcibly entered that also. That's when Wendy Cox was found laying beside the bed. She had approximately 30 bullet wounds and defensive wounds. And she also was strangled. Officers went upstairs, searched the open room, and then went to the master bedroom. Entered that, the doors were closed.
Police later determined that the three victims had been dead for approximately 18 hours.
Hello?
2 hours after the bodies were discovered, Smith telephoned his wife's daughter-in-law.
Joe.
He denied all involvement in the murders.
Joe, what's going on? It's after 4 in the morning.
Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Approximately 4:30 in the morning, on October 6th, called her on the phone, told her that her mother and sisters had been murdered, and he had killed one of the people that did the killing, and knew who the other ones were.
Where are you?
It doesn't matter where I am right now. You just have to believe I had nothing to do with it. Myself. I know who they are, and I'm gonna kill them.
In my opinion, it was a ruse by Mr. to get support from Judah Smith's family members and make them believe that he was not involved in the killings.
Joe Smith fled in a gold Lincoln Continental with Vanity, Nevada license plates reading Smitty 2. He is wanted on 3 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder with a deadly weapon. Smith is 50 years old, 6 feet tall, and weighs 160 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. He may be working in real estate. Police are still puzzled by what appears to have been a motiveless crime. By all accounts, the Smith's marriage was a happy one. Though Joe Smith was in dire financial straits, he was not named in his wife's will, nor did he have life insurance policies for her or her daughters. Authorities believe Smith may now be somewhere in the southwestern United States or Mexico. Just minutes after we profiled Smith's case, an anonymous viewer called our telecenter to report that the fugitive was living near Los Angeles, California. Smith was hiding out at this motel, but managed to escape before he could be apprehended.
Once we established that Joe William Smith was in the Los Angeles area, we focused our attention to his brother, who we knew that he had close contact with. After 5 days of surveilling his brother, we established where the suspect was residing.
20 minutes later, Joe Weldon Smith was arrested at another local motel where he was registered under an assumed name. Inside Smith's room, detectives recovered several credit and identification cards. Smith told police that he was in the process of creating a new identity.
At the time of his arrest, Joe Smith indicated to me that he had seen the last airing of the Unsolved Mystery program. He also told me that it was very tough being a fugitive, and he always knew that someone would be knocking at the door one day. He's kind of glad it's all over at this point.
Next, former residents claim that this house is haunted. But are the spirits friendly, evil, or just a figment of overactive imaginations?
Telling stories instead of watching them. The fabric of Phone-Free Friday. The fabric of our lives.
Hey, Mackenzie here. You've got questions. I've got answers. Where can you shop a great selection of Kias, including Sportage, Forte, Seltos, and Telluride? Where can you get up to $7,500 off a new Kia? Ken Ganley, West Virginia's #1 Kia dealer. I-79, exit 125 in Bridgeport. I want to see ya at a Ken Ganley Kia.
NexGuard Combo is the only monthly topical that protects against fleas, ticks, tapeworms, and more. Used with caution in cats with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. NexGuard Combo. The monthly one and done you want.
How far would you go to control the fragrance in your home? There's an easier way to get things smelling just the way you want. Try Airwick Fragrance. Infused with